Hello, there we go. Alright guys, before we get started here, if you're watching this in the future, which you probably are because nobody's currently in the chat room, I do a little bit of rambling here. We're going to let it give a second and see if anybody joins from outside. We do this every week at 8:30. We just talk Disney news and anything that the chat room may come up with. This week we have very few topics, so it's going to be quick if no one else has anything to input into the discussion. And as usual, just so you know, we post 3 videos a week. On Monday we do a Disney Store update, on Wednesdays we do a Parks vlog, and on Fridays we are here doing a live stream. Let's see, check out our bow store. It's in the description below. My wife makes some handmade bows and we sell them on Etsy. It really helps us out a lot if you like. And also, if there's any discussion while this is live and we do have a live chat, those chats do not come over to the actual comment section. So if you're watching this, let's say tomorrow, tonight, a week from now, and you do have something to add to it, always add your comments below because we can always have this discussion later. But yeah, and also if I kind of breeze through a topic and you do want to talk about it or go back to it, or I didn't cover something that you want to talk about at all, just throw it out there in the chat room and we will get started. Looks like one person is in the room, so I think we will probably get started here in a second. Hello to whoever is watching live. Thank you very much. Quinn will not be interrupting us tonight. She might come in a little bit later, but as of right now, it's just going to be me tonight. I said it a moment ago, but now that someone's in here, we only have 3 news topics, 2 of which I'm just going to breeze through unless anybody in the chat room or comment section has anything to say about it, because I don't really have opinions about them. We do this every Friday, as I said. It's a live news chat show, and we try to keep it under 20 minutes. Usually my goal is 10-15 minutes, but I think that's only happened like once. Alright, getting started for tonight, the very first thing I do want to talk about is they changed the name of characters in flight to Aerophile. I'm not sure if that is important to anybody at all. It is not important to me because I do not do heights, and I was never going to get into characters of flight. And it doesn't change it; it's just the name of it. But the name change comes because, as you may have seen in photos or videos, they updated the balloon. God, it's probably been 6 months ago now. That number's probably not correct, but about 6 months ago they updated the balloon and there's no longer actually Disney characters on it. Honestly Weird World, hey, thanks for watching, guys. Hey, thanks for coming in. But yeah, Characters Play is now Aerophile. It's just a name change. It's the same thing. Costs the same from what I understand and from what I've seen online. It's just the balloon doesn't have characters on it anymore. Let's see, moving on to our next little topic here. Captain's Grille is now turning into Ale and Compass. Captain's Grille, I believe, is down now, or going to be down now in the next couple weeks for refurbishment. And they announced that it's going to be going kind of through a rebrand, a change. It's going to be like a gastro pub. I've never been to Captain's Grille. I've heard good things. I've heard good things about, I believe it was the breakfast. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, it's changing. If you've ever watched this thing before where I do this live thing, or follow me on Twitter or Facebook or really anywhere, you know that I'm not too mad about name changes and or things changing in the public. So I guess it doesn't matter to me. Like, I guess change is progress and progress is good. Like, it's always going to evolve. Nothing should ever stay static no matter how good it is. So I'm sure it will be fine, and I'm sure everyone will continue to like it. I imagine things that are loved about Captain's Grille are probably going to stay on the menu, but who knows. And my last one, this is the last little thing I have to talk about tonight. Unless anybody else has any other topics they'd like to talk about, please add it in the chat room. Looks like a couple people are in there now. Paint the Night, which I'm going to say we, as me speaking for the Disney community, but more me than anything. We're starting to assume that was going to be coming to Disney World. It has been announced that it is going to be back at Disneyland, specifically at DCA. So that starts in, I believe, November. DCA will get their own parade in November. They currently have Main Street Electrical Parade, which is supposed to end in August, but we'll see where that goes. Like, it was supposed to end in like June or something like that, or May, I don't know. But then they extended it to August, and if they extend it again, that'll be there. If not, they have holiday parades between Halloween and I believe they do have a Christmas parade. I could be wrong about that one. So there'll be times this winter where Disneyland and DCA both have nighttime parades, while none of the 4 parks at Disney World have a nighttime parade. I was talking to, let's see, let me get their Twitter handle right, Mouse Seekers, at the Mouse Seekers today on Twitter. I'm not sure they are watching, and that's fine if they are not, but we were talking about kind of what I wanted and what I was looking forward to and yada, yada, yada. And I basically just said, like, I think everybody has that thing that, like, got them attached to Disney World or Disney or Disneyland or whatever it is. There's something about the parks, whether it be the history or a certain ride, or a lot of people get engaged at Disney, and there's just something that, like, there's a nostalgic thing. And for me, and I think I speak for Courtney, and I mean, Quinn doesn't really know what's going on. She's 3, so, but I think for me that thing about Disney is the nighttime parade. I know it's not everyone's. I know there are plenty of people who just outright do not care about the nighttime parades. They would take it if it came back, but they also do not currently miss it. But I really do. Like, I joke all the time on Twitter, like, I'll take the Move It, Shake It nighttime spectacular. So I obviously do not want that, but I literally take any form of nighttime parade because that is kind of my thing. Like, I like parades in general. I like trains. I like parades. I like history. Like, that's why I think Disney appeals to me so much. But I'm kind of bummed and kind of mad that now both parks at Disneyland are going to have parades. Especially, there's going to be nights in this fall, that they have 2 parades running. And we have Festival of Fantasy, which is a great parade. And I've even suggested many times retrofitting the Festival of Fantasy floats with lights and just move it to the night time. Like, I would take that. Run Move It, Shake It throughout the day. Give me Festival of Fantasy at night. I did want Paint the Night, and I kind of got my hopes up, really assuming that we were going to get a D23 announcement of Paint the Night. I forgot which podcast I listened to made a good point that with Happily Ever After and Disney trying to get as many people as possible to go spend their nights at Animal Kingdom, we're probably not going to see a parade for a while, but it still bums me out. And I'll say I don't necessarily settle for that. I'm going back over to the chat room here. Sorry, I've just rambled a long time and ignored the people who are in the chat room. Let's see, everyone's here. The Mouse Seekers, I just mentioned you. I was talking about our little chat about Paint the Night earlier. Mouse Weird World, you guys are still here. Fly Me to Disney. Hey Kyle, hey Jamie. And Crazy Christine crew, don't worry that you're late. Thanks for watching for any amount of time. Sorry, I have 2 screens and I'm reading the comments from over here. Let's see, never eaten at Captain's Grille. Change isn't bad, though. Good to get things updated. Yeah, there's just so many restaurants at Disney. It's not that I didn't want to eat at Captain's Grille. I've heard of it. I've heard good things. I just never got around to it. There are so many other places on our, like, to-do list that we've never got to. But yeah, I like change. I'm not opposed to it. If you ever watch this, or like I said, follow me anywhere on the internet, you know that I'm pretty much 100% for updates and change and all that stuff. Paint the Night has been officially announced. Must have missed that. Yes, it is official, I believe. I believe that was a Disney announcement. If not, it was a fairly credible announcement that it's going to DCA. I took it as it was an official announcement. Sorry if I'm spreading this as a false rumor, but it seems to be rather true that it's going to DCA. Not to Disney World. But it doesn't mean, like what I was talking to Mouse Seekers earlier, that they didn't make some sort of duplicate. The one thing I've heard about it coming to Disney World is that the bridge from, like, Liberty Square where the parade would go over isn't big enough to hold, like, the big floats of Paint the Night. So, like, the Mack truck, I'm assuming anybody who I'm talking with this about has seen video or actually seen the actual Paint the Night parade. But the big Cars Mack truck, he is really large, and I've heard that, like, he can't make the turn, or he's too big, or he weighs too much to go over that bridge, something like that. Which my argument was always like, well, just get rid of that float. Like, we don't need every float. I don't know, but so maybe they did make a duplicate. Maybe we're gonna get Paint the Night that here. Disneyland Tokyo has Paint the Night, I think. So I don't, it's not like a one park thing. Like, they could just make more floats and do it. There's been a lot of rumor of, like, Spectro Magic, like 2.0, or like a new version of Spectro Magic coming. like I said, I just don't care. Like, give me anything. Like, I don't literally want the Move It, Shake It nighttime parade, but I will literally take the Move It, Shake It nighttime parade. Like, I just like nighttime parades. We go to the parties every year, and one of the biggest things for me, like, and Quinn asks almost daily to watch, like, the Not So Scary Boo to You parade. Like, parades are kind of a big deal for us. Like, and like I said, it's not for everybody. I know there are plenty of people who are like, I just don't give a rat's you know what about parades. Let's see. Hit enter and Paint the Night. Seriously, the best parade. Yeah, Paint the Night is like, I mean, it's just amazing. Like, just some of the things. We see like this progression of things getting better and things improving and kind of evolving. You look at things like Wishes. People were sad that Wishes was going away, but then we got Happily Ever After, which by all means is a improvement to Wishes by most people's standards. And I think Paint the Night is that for parades. Like, we looked at the Electrical Parade, or really, I mean, I think that's kind of the gold standard. And then, like, this was like the big evolution. Like, the floats were so much bigger, and the music, and there was just so much to it. And I would really like to see it, but I'm also not picky. I would take the Main Street Electrical Parade back. Just, they're done at Disneyland now. Ship them back across the country. Like, like I said, for me, the parades are like kind of my thing, or are my family's thing. I at least with Quinn, when we went on our first trips, and she was 18 months within our first time, just very good like memories and nostalgia of that. And I think everybody has that thing, whether it's a restaurant or a ride or a show or whatever it may be. And for me, it's nighttime parades, and I'm not necessarily tied to one. Like, for us, it was the Main Street Electrical Parade, but I miss it, and I miss the music. And like, we go to the Disney Store obviously a lot. We post a video every week, but like, they'll play the Main Street Electrical Parade music in the Disney Store, and like, it hits me in the feels, but I don't necessarily need that one. I love the Festival of Fantasy. It's a great parade. It's also at a really awkward time. Whether you have kids or not, but like, especially having a kid, we usually take a break back at our room and a nap during that time. We very rarely actually see the Festival of Fantasy. So, I mean, like I said, I would take that as a nighttime parade. Not very picky. Let's move on. Oh darn, I missed it. There's also an argument that DCA wouldn't fit because there's a 90-degree turn at the end of the parade route. See, I've never been to DCA, so I don't know. I'm assuming that if this is a legit thing, that they have figured it out, or they've modified the floats, or they're going to, that they're going to make it work, take floats away, etc. So that I don't know, because we've never been to Disneyland. Hopefully soon, but we have yet to go. Off topic, how's your burn? My burn, Jamie, right there. It's not too bad today. It's a pretty nasty blister right now. Sorry if that was TMI. She's referring to yesterday. I burned myself really bad when I was cooking. I'm not a great cook, but I do most, if not all, the cooking around here. And I was cooking pork loin yesterday, and I took it out of the oven, and just not thinking, I grabbed the lid to the thing out of the oven, and my hand didn't actually blister up or get any burn, but it was pretty bad. But my fingers, it's pretty bad. But it's pretty fine today. It doesn't really hurt. Like, if I mess with it a ton, it starts to tingle, but overall pretty good. They could just do the Boo to You parade all year long. You do not know how happy it would make me if they just did the Boo to You parade all year long, or the Very Merry parade. I've said before, and we didn't have the greatest experience of the Very Merry Christmas party. Nothing particular. We just, overall, if we were looking at the Halloween to Christmas party, we far and away preferred the Halloween party. But like, the highlight of the Christmas party for me was the parade. So like, give me the snow on Main Street, do something, like, I'll take it all year round. Like, I'm sure there are people like most of the internet that really do not like the idea, especially of instead of September 1st, the Halloween parties start. Now they're starting August 29th. That's way too early now. But I'm sure there's people, when I say, like, oh, I would love to have that are not feeling it. Off topic, they should bring a parade to Magic Kingdom the night before Star Wars Land opens. It'll be mass chaos at Hollywood Studios. I'm sure they will. Right now, I think they are trying to get as many. Sorry, I kind of mumbled that. I'll reread it. They should bring Mouse-Eared World says they should bring a parade to Magic Kingdom at night before Star Wars Land opens, or it'll be a mass chaos at the studios. I'm sure they will. Right now, I think they're having the opposite issue with Pandora. I think it opened, and from what I've heard on podcasts like Len Testa and stuff, who tend to be fairly credible, Pandora is not doing as well as they expected. It's doing well, but like they kind of have this expectation that like Animal Kingdom was going to be like the new Magic Kingdom sort of thing, and it just didn't do that well. So I think right now they're still trying to get as many people at the end of the night, instead of hanging out at Magic Kingdom or instead of going to Epcot and getting drunk, that they are going to go to Animal Kingdom at night. And I think that's what they want. I don't know that that's happening. I think they're going to have the opposite issue when Star Wars Land opens, or even Toy Story Land for that matter. I think Hollywood Studios is, I think there are many days, especially with Star Wars Land. I think there are going to be many days, like not holidays, not like Christmas or New Year's or the 4th of July, that Hollywood Studios is going to hit capacity. I think you're going to see like March 20th, like really random days hit capacity very, very early. So, I would say that they probably will for Star Wars Land, but Star Wars Land's not till they say 2019. I don't think ours is actually going to open in 2019. I would say probably 2020 or the end of 2019. So like, let's say it opens in 2019. That's still, even if they do summer 2019, which I think is their goal, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's still 2 years from now. We haven't had a parade since when did Main Street Electrical Parade end? It was, I think, October or August of last year. So we're coming up on a year now. That's another 2 years from now. So it's 3 years without a nighttime parade in the Magic Kingdom. And I kind of think that's crazy. But as I've said a million times, if you're just stumbling into this live chat now, the parades are kind of my thing. They're not everybody else's thing. And if that's not your thing, that's fine. And there are plenty of things that people love about Disney that are not my thing. So for me, though, I'm just like, I very frequently preach about it. I usually kind of jokingly post a tweet once a month at Disney and tell them that like I haven't forgot about nighttime parades. Like don't I fear now that they're like, well, we've gone this long, nobody's really that mad about it. Let's just never have a parade again. It's cheaper. You don't have to worry about it. The crowds. There's already such a crowd issue in front of the castle with Happily Ever After. Why bring a parade back? And that's my fear. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but that's my fear. Let's see. That's all I got, guys. I only had a few news topics. If you came in late, what I talked about before the parades and my big parade rant was Characters in Flight. It's now called Aerophile. It doesn't change anything. They just updated the balloon about 6 months ago, and there's no longer characters on it. But from my understanding, it's the same times, prices, all that stuff. Doesn't affect me because I have a fear of heights, and I'm never, ever going to get on that balloon. The second thing we talked about before Paint the Night was Captain's Grille is now called the Ale and Compass. It's going down, or it is currently down, or it was down for like refurbishments or something like that. And when it reopens, it's going to be reopened as a place called Ale and Compass. I have never been, or I've never eaten there, and so I'm not really attached to it. But I don't think there's a single restaurant. Maybe Tusker House. I'm a big fan of Tusker House. But I don't think there's a single restaurant that they could like change the theming or even the food of that I'd be like that mad about. I like change. Change is progress and evolution. I'm 100% okay with it. And then we talked a lot. I'm sure the 6 people are currently watching. You've seen some of me just babbling on about parades. So that's all I have. Let me know if you guys have anything else here in the chat room. I'll leave it up for a few minutes here. If you guys don't actually have anything, I want to remind you, my wife makes bows. They're part of our Main Street Citizens shop. If you go to Etsy and you type in Main Street Citizens, you'll see the bows that she makes. And go check them out. Anything that you do there does actually help us a lot. And let's see. Make sure you subscribe to us on here. That helps a lot. We've actually been doing fairly good lately. We had kind of a dry spell. Like and thumbs up. Every Monday we post a Disney Store our local Disney store video, and then every Wednesday we post a parks vlog, and then every Friday we are here at 8:30 p.m. doing live streams. Let's see, Crazy Christine Cruz talking about the parade. She said, they are my thing. I usually watch them alone though. My hubby does not enjoy. Like I said, yeah, that's very understandable. It's not at all for everyone, and if it's not your thing, then you probably just don't care at all that they don't currently have a parade, and wouldn't care if they never brought one back, and that's fine. There are plenty of things about Disney that people love that I don't even get into, that I just don't care about. A lot of it has to do with food and restaurants and stuff like that. Like all that stuff I just 100% do not care about. And changing names, things like changing certain animatronics in a certain old Pirates ride, stuff like that just doesn't bother me at all. There's nothing. The Mighty Men of Mouse podcast, which if you don't listen to, you should. They frequently do this thing where they talk about, like, not frequently, I guess they've only done it a couple times, but they do this, like, what attraction, what ride, what thing would prompt you to make a last minute, oh my god, I have to go down now. Like if they announce at D23 next week that they were closing Splash Mountain at all the parks, would you then go down and make like this surprise, like I have to go last minute and drain my bank account to get down there and ride it one more time? And I honestly don't think there's a single thing in any of the 4 parks at Disney World that I would do that for. Maybe Big Thunder Mountain, but like every single park in the world has a Big Thunder Mountain. Even if I had to go all the way to like Hong Kong or Shanghai to ride Big Thunder, I would still be okay with that. Like, just I'm not sure that there's anything at all, unless they're closing like a full park. Like if you told me like you're closing all of Animal Kingdom next year, I would need to like get down then. But like I'm okay with things changing and closing. Let's see. I think the chat room has slowed down here. Thanks everybody if you're still here, and thanks everybody who tuned in tonight. This is by far the largest crowd and the most active chat room we've had. I think we had one other time where it was close to this, but like this is awesome, guys. Like I don't claim to be a Disney expert. A lot of this is just me watching the news sites and bringing stuff in and wanting to give my opinion on it, and also trying to just interact with people in a different form. Like I talk to a lot of you on, I think every single person who's in here. Yeah, I talk to you guys all on Twitter almost every single day. But this is just a different way of talking. I like to ramble, as you can see, and I can fill up a lot of time. It's been 22 minutes. It's like the longest video I've ever done on here as well. Let's see. Thanks everyone for watching, though. I really appreciate you coming and spending now 23 minutes with me on a Friday night. It means a lot to me. It really does. I don't know why you would do that, but thank you. I asked, and you guys clicked and came and participated, and that means a lot. If nobody has any more questions or anything to add to the chat, I am going to close it out here, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.